Grand Rising. How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Monday morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on wherever you are located in the world. You know, I was just thinking about some things. In particular, I was thinking about the prosperity gospel. You know, in one of my ebooks, The Fruits of Azusa, that I self-published years ago, I think it was like 2013 or so, I researched for over a year about the origins and the fruit of the Azusa Street revival in the early 20th century. I examined the history of the church. I examined the climate and the culture, the temperature of this country prior to and immediately after what is known as the Azusa Street revival. Okay. It is important. It is extremely important to properly discern, to fully discern a revival, or what people call a revival, in order to judge, yes, if the revival is sent from the Most High or if it's not sent from the Most High. Please understand, the term revival is grossly overused today. And because of the hunger of people, they want to grab a hold of anything and call it a revival. Okay? When what they call a revival can be nothing more than a reawakening, a renewal of Holy Ghost conviction, a Ruach HaKodesh conviction. You know, in order for a revival to take place, I've written this in my latest ebook, How to Spark a Revival. In order for a real revival to take place, you have to have repentance in the equation. You have to. What does that have to do with prosperity, Winona? I'm glad you asked. You know, I was just sitting thinking because, you know, the prosperity gospel is one of the most diabolical and wicked doctrines that is being taught in the church. And it was birthed in the American church. Why was it birthed in the American church? In my ebook, The Fruits of Azusa, I was able to discern, okay, the climate of this country prior to the teaching and preaching of the prosperity gospel that was introduced into the church by Oral Roberts. He was the first preacher to teach on the prosperity gospel, okay? What was going on prior to the teaching of the prosperity gospel? The Great Depression of the early 20th century, 1930s, if you will. The stock market crashed. People were panicking. There were long lines. Food, people were trying to get meals. White people, because we never had wealth in this country. At that time, white people lost a lot of money. They lost all of their money. There were people jumping out of buildings, committing suicide because they lost all of their fortunes. The overall morale of this country was very horrendous. There were, yes, white people. I mean, because black people by that time had already been financially struggling because we were already being oppressed as a people. Hello, Jim Crow. Hello, KKK. So no, we weren't financially prospering in the 1930s. We were being openly oppressed. We were being lynched. Jim Crow was in full effect. So the stock market crash, the Great Depression, did not affect us in that way. Okay, it affected us, but excuse me. It was just the same old for most African Americans. Okay, in the 1930s after the Great Depression. Okay. It was the white people that was panicking. It was the white people that was committing suicide. It was the white people that was flipping out. And probably in the church, not probably, yeah, I'm telling you, in the church, there was a lot of white people that was asking God, why? Why did this happen to the greatest country on earth? Why did we lose all of this money? Why are we struggling? And so it was in the aftermath of the Great Depression. It was when white people were extremely poor. Huh? It's when white people did not have access to quality medical care. It did not have the money to pay for the doctors to come to their homes to see about them. It was in the midst of all of this financial and societal chaos in the aftermath of the Great Depression that Oral Roberts was born. Okay. Oral Roberts grew up in a poor white family. And Oral Roberts was plagued with the spirit of infirmity. So when he grew up, he wanted to make sure that he would never struggle the way he struggled as a kid. And he claimed that the Most High showed him the seed faith doctrine, and hence the prosperity gospel was born. And he started teaching it and preaching it. First, he started teaching on healing. Okay? And it is the will of the Most High to heal his people. Understand that. But do understand, when a false doctrine is introduced into the church, it always is on the heels of some truth. It's always flown in on the wings of some truth. So he used his platform of healing because, he had all these, Oral Roberts had all of these tent meetings. Okay. You could look them up online, and he was healing folks. He was laying hands on folks. And I don't doubt that those healings were real, because the word says it's according to your faith, be it unto you. So yeah, I won't argue that those healings were staged or fake. Maybe some of them were. But I think it was born out of a deep-rooted hunger for the people, because they were poor and they needed healing, and there was a lot of stuff that needed, and they didn't have it anymore. And here comes Oral Roberts having his tent meetings and offering healing to the people. Signs, wonders, and miracles were being performed by his hands. And so everything that he so-called heard from the Most High, or so he thought, was from the Most High. And he started teaching on the prosperity gospel. And he introduced it into the church. And then in the 60s, he wrote his book on seed faith. And it grew like wildfire. And then he opened up Oral Roberts University so that he could teach many, many more people the false doctrine of the prosperity gospel and message, seed faith, seed time and harvest. Yeah. So, that was the environment and the climate that the prosperity gospel was birthed out of. By the 70s and 80s, 90s, the prosperity gospel was spread to the continent. So that's why you see a slew of African countries with churches that their whole message is the prosperity gospel, okay? Because they learned it from the colonizers. And again, what was the climate that caused the prosperity gospel to flourish and grow on the continent? Abject poverty, oppression, crimes against humanity that were not being justified or punished. So the people on the continent fell for the same thing that the white man fell for after the Depression in this country. The enemy knows how to get to people. He gets to the people through financial oppression. It's something that the Most High showed me. He revealed it to me, and it was so powerful, you know. I was thinking about, I used to be a minister, and I used to beat myself up all the time because, I've had financial struggles more times than not. Okay. Especially when I was in ministry, and there was a lot of things that I wanted to do for people that were in need that I just was not able to do. And I used to cry out to the Most High and ask him, why didn't he put millions of dollars in my hands to meet the needs of the people? Because I sure would give it, because there's so much need out there. And it's just now that the Most High showed me. The Most High, when he calls you to do something, or he calls you into the ministry, or he calls you to meet a need, he's never going to allow that need to be met through your means or my means, our natural means. Check it, right? In the Word, right? In the Word, when we think about the story of the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, right? That was a lot of carbohydrates, wasn't it? But you know the story. Remember, the disciples were professionals. They were former professionals, business owners. Peter owned a fishing business, huh? He had people working for him. Luke was a doctor. The disciples were professional men that was making bank. And Yahusha called them out of their businesses. He called them off of their jobs. And he said, let's go. Let's take up your cross and follow me. Huh? And Yahusha knew that he was going to come. They were going to come across some people that were in need. Poor people, people that were going to need something to eat, and people that were going to need housing, and people that was just poor. But Yahusha never told those professional men that had the means while they were in their businesses and in their professions. He never said, now I want you to go and go get your gold and go get your silver. And come on, let's bring it. Because we're going to need that to supply the needs of the ministry. He never told them to do that. He said, walk away from it all. Walk away from your professions and your businesses and follow me. In the miracle of the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, bear with me. The needs of the people were met supernaturally. The needs of the people was met through what was available in front of the people. The Most High did not feed those people who he had just finished teaching and preaching to from Luke's retirement fund, from his medical profession. The needs of the people were not met when Peter sold his fishing business and decided to follow the Most High into ministry. No. Yahusha showed the disciples, hey, watch the Most High supernaturally supply the need of the people. And that just did something to me when it just hit me like an hour ago. And I was like, yo, what? When the Most High has called you to do something, he truly provides for you supernaturally. It's not gonna come from your account. It's not gonna come from your means, your fundraising efforts, your raising up missions. No. The Most High is gonna always provide supernaturally. You're not gonna know where it's gonna come from, but the Most High supplies it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't Isn't that awesome? We serve a powerful, mighty Yah. We really do. We really do. When the word says, I shall supply all of your needs according to his riches. The gold is yours. The silver is yours. Huh? The currency, the gold, the silver, the crypto. Huh? Everything that we deem to be wealth and riches all belongs to the Most High Yah. And he will supernaturally open up doors for his people when he's called them to meet a need. Now, I've always told Yah, Father Yah, if you want me to be a blessing to this one or that one, you're going to have to put it in my hand. And he's always been faithful to put it in my hand when I was supposed to supply the need of whomever. So this lie that they've been telling you in the prosperity in the church that says, oh, you need prosperity so that you can do ministry. You need the prosperity so that you can meet the needs of the people. The devil is an entire lie. And the truth is not in him. You don't need anything but to trust in the Most High to supply the need. So trust in the Most High to supply the need. He will supernaturally do it. Isn't that awesome? You don't need the lie and false doctrine to supply the needs that the people have. And that ought to take a load off a lot of people. Because that's awesome. You know why he does it that way? So that he can get the glory. Not us, not you, not our favorite preacher, but so that Yah can get all the glory, all the kabod, all praises to the Most High Yah for the mighty things he is about to do through the hands of his people. Remember the reason and the purpose behind the wealth transfer. You guys be blessed. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach.